Fox News also bizarrely claiming that Elizabeth Warren is responsible for the financial crisis. This is after, remember we talked about her very basic questioning on the Senate Banking Committee, where she just asked, when have you prosecuted banks? When have you brought big banks to trial? Has too big to fail become too big for trial? The video went viral, almost a million views, and probably going to surpass that soon. Here's just a few seconds of that to remind you the video we're talking about. Take a look at this.
So the question I really want to ask is about how tough you are, about how much leverage you really have in these settlements. And what I'd like to know is, tell me a little bit about the last few times you've taken the biggest financial institutions on Wall Street all the way to a trial.
Right. So she basically got no answer. She got some roundabout answers. Now, conservatives are not at all happy about that. I don't even know what to call it, that very basic set of questions. And right-wing activist, who's also a Fox News contributor, Erick Erickson, had a really weird response to the Elizabeth Warren video. He wrote an op-ed called, If Elizabeth Warren wants to lay blame for the financial mess, she can look in the mirror. What sense does this make? And he says that Warren is an advocate of regulations which caused the financial crisis in the first place, and that she wants to prevent lawsuits against Wall Street banks. He says the rich irony of Elizabeth Warren asking her question to these regulators, whose ranks she would have joined but for a Republican effort to block her nomination prior to her Senate run, is that she's an advocate of increasing the very regulations that contributed to the financial meltdown and that prevent suits against Wall Street banks. After all, Wall Street was just complying with Washington's orders. If she wants a scalp, she should look in the mirror. So first of all, is putting the word scalp in there a reference to the I don't even want to call it controversy, but the discussion around what at one point was her believed partial Native American heritage? It seems a little, and this wouldn't be news. It is Fox, but remember, I wouldn't be surprised, but the word scalp is not a word that would really naturally just show up in things. And it's Elizabeth Warren. That's suspect to me, first of all.
Yeah. When was the last time you heard anyone use that word?
Yeah.
Unless you're talking about selling tickets.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. And then the reality, fantasy world living is very, very fun, apparently, over on the right wing at this point. There's a long history of blaming the people trying to fix the mess by projecting their own guilt onto the fixers. And really, we've seen projection more broadly beyond just on blame, but just projection of all types from the right over the last few years, haven't we?
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the major issues with the crisis we encountered was lack of regulation.
Yeah, no question about it.
I mean,
it was a free-for-all loans, any terms, loans that can just absolutely not be paid off. You pay interest for 5 years and you have zero equity. I mean, it's just the idea that Elizabeth Warren is the problem is just unbelievable.
Yeah, ridiculous.